Alright, welcome back. We're heading into the second map between HasuObs and Fire. This time the human player is the one spawning at the bottom of the map. The map this time is Secret Valley. Fire with an altar first again, and pretty sure with an AM first again as well. Starting with the barracks with the usual quick timing as well. And HasuObs with altar and cigarette, so he's gonna get his DK as quickly as he possibly can, and probably the players are gonna meet here where Fire is going to start creeping. So yeah, map number 1. I'm not really sure how, how discouraging it is for Fire. He's just saying it as I speak here. Not so great. I actually wanted to win TS, as TS certainly known to be a decent human map against undead, but that didn't work out so well. But then again, he just had pretty terrible early game, and we haven't really seen what he's capable of when getting into a good late game, at least in this best of 3. But for example, in the beginning of the group stage, we've seen him go up against Dovak, who he beat 2-0. With one very convincing victory and one pretty close game on Turtle Rock. So he has certainly shown that he's capable of playing against undead, and in fact he was pretty much widely regarded the best German player against undead for a while, the best German human player against undead, as Mew and Spell, while they were usually further ahead in the EPS, didn't seem as confident against undead as Fire did for a long time. So DK is about to spawn, shop is finishing, once again the quick second cigarette, so once again we're gonna see ghouls by HasuObs, and DK grabbing the rod, heading across the map, AM and 4 militia who are turning around right now. Yeah, that was a misclick. Wow, Fire really sloppy here. It's gonna take a lot of damage unnecessarily and lose a lot of damage output. The water metal, as you can see, is already about to fall, and only the 2 assassins have fallen thus far. Looks like the DK might still be too late to do anything about the experience of the Null Overseer. Or is he? First peasant is falling, coil is coming in, but too late. The experience is going to Fire. The item, the Ring of Protection +2, once again, terrible item drop at first here for the human player, is going to him as well. But peasants number 2 and 3 are already about to fall. Level 2 for the AM right now as he killed a skeleton. Still 3 skeletons alive. The Acolyte is leaving here as he's expecting Fire's militia eventually to approach up here to go to the expansion. Fire, on the other hand, is he trying to block? No, I think that was just a coincidence. These two passing each other here, the AM and the Acolyte. Yeah, Fire continues creeping. He's got 5 footmen here. The AM, HasuObs at the moment still only with skeletons, and the DK continues applying some pressure to the AM. Worked out pretty nicely previously. This time there's the heal fountain though to make use of. Potentially stealing one of the nulls here. The second null is going to Fire, and the ghouls are already arriving. The DK is taking quite a bit of damage there. I would just want to quickly check. This time the tech seems to be a little bit faster than it was on TS, but more importantly, Fire is taking as well this time, so he's playing one base at least for the time being, and we'll keep an eye on his main base, checking whether there's going to be a blacksmith during his tech. So we're gonna see if he's gonna go for the rifleman caster unit composition that one would expect after seeing the human staying on one base against undead. And yeah, HasuObs already checked for the same thing with the skeleton. He saw the tech, didn't see any big tell in terms of Fire's strategic approach upon reaching tier 2. HasuObs on the other hand is adding his graveyard. I mean, for him there's not really all too much that can vary at this stage of the match in terms of how his main base could or should be looking. So he's trying to go for some surrounds. Not all too easy to do against these very small footmen. Well, footmen with a small collision size. So HasuObs is falling back for the moment. Fire Yeah, trying to deal a bit of damage, but really as long as nothing gets around it here, HasuObs shouldn't be losing anything. Looks like he might be going to the shop here. So yeah, it looks like he wanted to distract the human army, but Fire did not fall for it. HasuObs wanted to creep here to get the level 2 on his DK apparently, but that didn't happen. He picked up the Boots of Speed now. Fire continues running around the middle. I mean, there are plenty of small creep camps which are extremely easy to take for him, but it looks like HasuObs also isn't willing to really give anything away for free to him, and why would he? So we do see a blacksmith coming here, so it looks like it is going to be a rifleman. And Castors, the first of the North, is going to HasuObs here. Summer XP for him, still a while to go until level 2. And with those Boots of Speed, I'm really curious what his second hero choice is going to be, because often the Undead is not going to go for those boots. And in other matchups, for example in Undead against Night Elf, getting the boots on a DK can often be a sign that a Naga second is inbound, because you know she is eventually going to benefit a lot from the DK passing the boots. In this case, I'm not really sure if that's you know, an applicable thought as well, as in this particular case there aren't really all too many different options for HasuObs thus far. Okay, he's getting village. I was just about to say thus far he hasn't chosen a second hero, and he's really risked quite a bit here creeping with his ghouls, and he's been found by his opponent and he's paid for it with 2 ghouls, and some experience from the creeps has been given to the IEM as well. He's falling back though, but the DK has at least reached level 2 from, I believe, this null assassin here. So MK is out. We're seeing tier 3 immediately by Fire, extremely unconventional here, going for a Griffin Aviary as well as a workshop. The MK is coming, so the DK is going to have to be very careful here. Has to make sure not to get, you know, a surprise bolt in his face and a surround. But with the Shade already arriving on the side of HasuObs, he is not going to be surprised by the Mountain King's position at all. In the meantime, the Ghouls finish the Nord Overseer, the Lich is spawning, tier 3 is coming by HasuObs as well. Ghouls are leaving here, Slaughterhouse is coming for him. So, do we see a Fiend already? Not yet. So, we'll see if he's even going to add Fiends. Maybe not, maybe he's just going to get Abominations to eventually replace his Ghouls. And Destroyers, as I said, we'll see. Double Workshop and Griffin Aviary for Fire. As I said, very, very unconventional second Griffin Aviary as well. So maybe he's just going to go for a big air army. Griffins and flying machines most likely. Which usually tends to be tough on one base. But maybe he's going to be able to make it work. We'll see. So both of them currently rather passively roaming around on the map. I mean, HasuObs with his Shade would love for Fire, who currently has only does only have his 2 heroes and a bunch of tier 1 footmen, to creep something big to, you know, make himself vulnerable to a creep check. But as Fire was just running back and forth here in the middle and only creeping some tiny stuff, it looks like HasuObs may have changed plans here, as his opponent isn't risking anything in this phase where he's really not all too strong. By the way, Paladin is coming, first Flying Machine is out, and yeah, Flying Machines, Griffins is what it's going to be. Yeah, as his opponent hasn't really risked anything in this weak period, it looks like he may be getting away just fine, at least for the time being, with his greedy tier 3 tech. And, well, HasuObs, as he's been waiting the past couple of minutes for Fire to start creeping something big, hasn't really been able to creep nearly as much as he could have. And it looks like we're going to see a fight breaking out here for this creep camp. First Footman is getting ensnared here, is gonna get killed. First Flying Machine is joining the battle right now, and neither of the players really up to where they wanna be yet. I think it might still look a bit better for HasuObs due to his superior number of ghouls and the first 3 fiends joining the fight already. Fire losing the majority of his footmen here. Fire getting his paladin to fight right now, getting the first griffin into the fight right now. I'm assuming Web is ready. First fiend is getting attacked. There are 2 calls on this DK, but it looks like the fiend might still go down, or is it? No, the fiend actually is getting away, and the first Griffin Rider is going to be taken down in just a second. So there you can see one of the major issues with Griffins against fiends. As long as they are in low numbers, it can be quite difficult to really make them work, which is one of the reasons why on one base they often tend to fail. Right, tier 3 has been reached for HasuObs, who should probably be adding his orbs soon. There is no more coil on the DK, but as the Mountain King is in the middle and finishes creeping, some decent multitasking there by Fire. It looks like he might have a difficult time finishing off those fiends, but HasuObs is not able to move through there with his fiends, so one of them is falling already. All the ghouls are being pulled. It looks like he's going to be able to block this water metal away from the second fiend, so at least he's going to be able to keep one of them alive. Lich has bought the orb in the meantime. DK has reached level 3. Of course, quite an important level. MK in the meantime 2.5, and he found a big heal potion from the Ogre Magi here. Shade is being chased there as well by the Mountain King. Should be able to bolt it if he wanted to. Maybe not now anymore, as the Shade has, you know, floated out of range of the MK. HasuObs going towards the middle immediately. Continues creeping. Fire doing the same thing for the time being. 2 Griffins currently at the army, a bunch of flying machines as well, in anticipation of the destroyers, which HasuObs is researching as I speak. Once again, Shade is coming in. Actually, this MK could be in a bit of trouble, but you know, as HasuObs is completely out of position and busy doing his own creeping, that shouldn't really be anything that Fire should be all too worried about. He has also used another Holy Light here just to get that one back to like half his HP. Fourth Fiend has joined here now, morphing the first destroyers. Looks like HasuObs is going to stay. Let me just quickly... Yes, okay, he's going to stay on 2 heroes for a moment, as he's at 48 out of 50 supply right now. In the meantime, Fire also close to 50 supply, and with 4 Griffins, he might be able to... yeah, start getting a bit of a snowball effect working already here. The first Fiend is in trouble as well as the first Griffin Rider, and it looks like the numbers are not there yet for Fire. He's TPing out, 1 Fiend is falling, 1 Griffin Rider has fallen. HasuObs is going to be quite satisfied with that. And Fire, yeah, I guess for the time being, the approach is just going to be creep as much as possible, avoid the undead army, save up some gold, and then get to like a 70 supply army, perhaps rebuilding that 1 Griffin in the meantime. And yeah, get to that stage where Griffins are extremely easy to micro. You know, you just need to shift A-click through the Fiends, basically use Bolt and Holy Light on top of things. Whereas Fiends, you know, they block each other, they need to be moved forward so they all can attack the 1 webbed Griffin that is being focused, etc, etc. So for the time being, it looks like the armies are still not big enough for Fire to really be able to work with those Griffins in a manner that he would like to, or that is necessary for him to actually end up winning a fight. And HasuObs has broken into low upkeep already, adding the Dreadlord third right now, adding a Boneyard and another Ziggurat, which is going to enable him to go up to 70 supply eventually. So that is interesting, especially given that for the time being HasuObs seemed to be fine with the army he had at 48 supply, and Fire is going to have some time, well, for as long as he wants to, some time in which he's going to have the superior income. In the meantime, 3.5, 3.5 and almost 3 on the Heroes of Fire, whereas the DK has reached level 4 right now, and the Lich is 3.5. Dreadlord has now spawned on level 1, of course. Another Shade has been seen here. And HasuObs, yeah, I'm curious what he's planning to do with that supply advantage that he's got right now. Going to be able to add the Frost Worm right now if he wants to. And then he's going to be at 65 supply against still only 50 on the side of Fire, who is probably not going to be all too eager to take a fight right now. Even though he's staying close here and he's pulling the militia. I'm really surprised about that. Now he's breaking into low upkeep, but as you can see, he's really struggling to get a, to a decent supply count. Spot 2 he's cross here, an Invul Potion. Lich is falling back to his own base. No reason to really fight here against these militia. No reason to fight before the Frostworm joins, which is going to be a little while longer. But with that, HasuObs is probably in a decent position. Fire with those militia, or with those peasants by now, isn't going to have all too much support by those. Another Destroyer morph. The Frostworm is about to spawn. By the way, Ancient Shango of Endurance for HasuObs from the red camp. Whereas Fire, what did he get? The Helm of Valor. Not as great. And now the Frostworm is out. By the way, 1-0 upgrades on the side of HasuObs. For Fire, it's 2-0 on the Griffins and no upgrades on the Flying Machines yet. Now he's got 2 Destroyers pumped up with mana, morphing a third one, and the Frostworm is slowly coming as well. So it looks like this is HasuObs' time where he wants to fight. All of the goose, or the majority at least, have been pulled as well. As you can see, they are clearly frenzy. So they are going to be able to deal a lot of damage as long as they are alive on the ground. One more bottom end gets taken down. Frostworm is there right now as well. We do have about 12 Flying Machines here. Yeah, 12 I think right now. Which against 3 Destroyers and 1 Frostworm, I'm not sure if it's really going to be enough. We'll find out about it. A bunch of them are being wiped immediately. The first 2 Destroyers are taking a lot of damage. Bolt is going onto one of the Fiends as well as the Holy Light, so that one is falling. But at the same time, the first Flying Machines as well as the first Militia have fallen already. HasuObs is doing a good job kiting so far. Continues webbing some of those Flying Machines. Now they're getting into a bit of a bender angle. The damage output is not perfect for Fire, but it still seems to be a lot. Coil goes onto one of the Destroyers. The Frostworm is in trouble though. At the same time, Fire has started losing a bunch of units already as well. The Frostworm is still alive, is being coiled right now, and as we can see, the Flying Machines have mostly vanished already. Level 4 on the Lich, level 2 on the Dreadlord already, who's being nuked right now with everything that Fire has got, and it is enough. The Dreadlord is falling, the Frostworm is being coiled once again, the Paladin is falling as well though. Fire tried to pass the Invul Potion, but too late, and it looks like the Frostworm is going to fall as well. I was just about to say that was still a pretty good fight for HasuObs. After all, we can see a bunch of Blue Corpses here, which was to be expected against a somewhat large number of Griffins. But at the end, losing the Frostworm there was definitely a big deal. The level 2 Dreadlord, not as much, but the Frostworm, that one would have had such a huge impact on these perhaps upcoming low supply fights that we can expect to see, as there's not all too much gold in the mines anymore and the armies aren't too big. So yeah, losing that one in the end kept Fire in the game here. I'd even dare saying that had he not lost that, HasuObs expanding in the meantime. Had he not lost that, HasuObs would be in a demanding position right now, especially since Fire's hand is forced with the expansion about to finish there. Next shade is going down. Level 4 in the meantime on both the MK and the AM. And now, can HasuObs hold here? Dreadlord is back. Another Fiend is coming. Another Fiend is being built. So HasuObs for the time being relying only on Fiends and statues as well as the heroes. Of course, still 2 Heal Scrolls for the human. An Invul Potion on the Mountain King, which he, didn't end up using in the previous fight. Adding more Flying Machines as well. But the expansion is slowly starting to run. HasuObs is building more Acolytes. Only 900 gold left in here. I guess for Fire it should be about the same. Even a little bit less for him. Fiends, by the way, still have 1-0 upgrades. 2 ziggurats coming. Towers are of great value against the light armored griffins, which are taking extra damage from the piercing damage that the towers provide. So it looks like Fire wants to engage again. HasuObs has to coil the first fiend immediately web onto those Griffin Riders, and there are only 5 of them. The first one has fallen already, and with the orb and the focus fire of those fiends, look at how quickly he is able to take down those Griffin Riders. At the same time though, only 3 fiends remaining in the fight. One of them just survived, the other one has been killed, another one is going to get taken down here despite the coil. And what is HasuObs focusing? He's going for, okay, now going for one of the Griffin Riders. I think the water metal there was a misclick previously. Bolt goes onto the Dreadlord. The DK is right there though with level 5. In the meantime, is he able to coil in time? No, he isn't. The nuke once again proves to be strong enough to take down the third hero of the Undead player, and HasuObs has to fall back. The expansion is running with 3 Acolytes for the time being. The next bolt onto one of the fiends. HasuObs decides to use Dark Ritual to deny the experience of that one. Going with the Nova and the Focus Fire onto the Paladin. He is using Divine Shield and falling back. But yeah, except for the flying machines and 1 Griffin, Fire has lost all of his units. And look at HasuObs still having 5 fiends around here. This one is going to fall as well. No chance to stop that from happening against a large number of web that that HasuObs has at his disposal right now. Burrowing a fiend, not all too efficient with the flying machines right there. On the other hand, forcing the invul potion on the Paladin finally. Definitely a lot more efficient now. The Lich seems to be the next target. Bolt on him. There is no mana for Holy Light currently. He's waiting for it. Now he's got the mana, but the Nova is coming in first. And the Paladin is falling in. Now the Mountain King seems to be in some trouble as well. He passed the invul potion previously to the Paladin, so no more invul available on that one. Another flying machine is falling, level 5 on the Lich as well. Another flying machine is falling here. Destroyer is being morphed here just to get rid of some HP on those water metals. And is he going for the aim as well? Yeah, he is, but there is going to be the town portal. I imagine he's using the invul potion first, but he's not going to be able to outrun the undead here. I guess he wanted to be greedy and pick off the destroyer here with his aim, but he gets the kill with his flying machines nevertheless. So yeah, there go 10 supply for HasuObs, but his expansion is still running. He's got a very strong DK and Lich, both level 5. The Dreadlord once again is going to be rebuilt, I imagine. Yes, he is. And Fire is out of gold income. Building another Griffin, building the Paladin again in the altar. 42 supply for HasuObs and 34 only for Fire, who really even got another Griffin killed here. And another expansion for HasuObs. Yeah, Fire, who really seems to have nothing left to really come back with in this game. He's gonna have his 3 heroes, and that's going to be it pretty much, except for the 1 Griffin here. 2 Griffins even. I think he just sold something, if I heard it correctly. Not quite sure. But yeah, this one is running 2 Spirit Towers, as I said previously. Great against Griffins. No way that those are going to be able to quickly fly in and kill some Acolytes. And HasuObs is just slowly consolidating here. Having an invul on the DK, heal potion on the Lich, a Dreadlord that's going to be alive soon. Also level 2.5 already. Fire just quickly continued creeping here. Almost got his Mountain King to level 5. Paladin very close to level 4 as well. So I guess his only hope is to somehow nuke the heroes of HasuObs. If he's going for the kills on the fiends. There's the level 5 even on the Mountain King. Fire nicely pulling away his 2 heroes here to get all the experience of this Scout Skeleton on his Mountain King. If he starts attacking fiends here, then even if he kills like 3, it's not gonna make any difference. So yeah, he's going straight for the heroes. Sleep on the Mountain King is a little bit too late. Nova onto the 1 Griffin Rider that is available. The Holy Light has been used onto the DK, if I heard that correctly. And the entire Undead army is falling back here. Bolt this time on the Dreadlord again. Is the DK in range? No, he isn't. The Dreadlord is getting killed another time. And the Mountain King still has a lot of mana. So HasuObs might actually be in trouble here. He's trying to go for the surround on the Mountain King, but doesn't get it. Bolt goes onto the Fiend here. This Mountain King almost instant kills a Fiend with a Bolt at this point. The next Fiend is in some trouble, and HasuObs has to fall back to his own base here. Always forced to use the coils defensively. But Fire also down to 1 Griffin right now, as well as his 3 heroes. And once again HasuObs leaving his base. Has to defend here against this human army. Mountain King is coming in from the top. All of the units of Fire are here at this point. The next Fiend is going to be taken down. Clap arrives before the coil, and the next Fiend is dying as well. Clap really doing a good job here, slowing these Fiends, and HasuObs is losing unit after unit. Still up supply wise. See the mana, there's 1 Bolt available and 2 Holy Lights. Because instant killing Acolytes with Bolt possible from level 3 onwards, so level 5 is doing the job as well. And the peasants are being sent back right now. The second expansion is running in the meantime as well. Just started. And Fire has no clue about that. So even though these 3 heroes are making things quite uncomfortable for HasuObs, Fire is still far away from, you know, being anywhere close to winning here. Divine Shield used quite quickly by the Paladin. And HasuObs is just sitting at his expansion right now. He's even added another Ziggurat, can add another tower soon if he wants to. But I'm not really sure if that's the greatest investment, because all that Fire does to this expansion is just quickly poke in with his MK and kill an Acolyte with a Bolt. So the Dreadlord is back once again. Heal potion bought on him. Staff has been used, I believe, on the last Griffin. Coil onto that Paladin who's got cooldown on the Divine Shield right now. So he needs to be careful of the nuke, but the nuke is coming, and the staff is on cooldown. Nuke is going onto the Paladin. Sleep on the AM, not even necessary, but he did it anyways. And this Paladin is gone, and with Fire having 76 gold, he's probably not going to come back. The Mountain King is moving forward here, trying to go for the kill on this Dreadlord once again, but it is the Mountain King who's falling first. Level 6 on the DK. HasuObs is falling back. A nice GG, says Fire. Yeah, I agree. Even another worm has been added in the meantime, and Fire is leaving the game here. Quite an exciting one. And actually the replay bar has quite a bit to go, so I'm just gonna fast forward here 8 times. Yeah, quite an interesting game here. Fire going for the 1 base tier 3 and ending up with even somewhat decently leveled heroes, which usually tends to be difficult to get away with those, you know, with those kind of strategies. Ending up with level 3 eventually, and a bunch of Griffins. Then they took that fight on the top of Fire's main base, or in between Fire's main base and his natural, which started out quite decently for HasuObs. But yeah, Fire ended up getting into a better position, killing the Dreadlord as well as the Worm of HasuObs, and both of them, you know, lost the majority of their stuff really. And I think Fire would have been in a better position if HasuObs hadn't gone for the expansion behind that fight, but fortunately for him, that expansion just finished a few seconds after that fight, and Fire was really pressured into pressuring the expansion of HasuObs. And if that hadn't been the case, you know, with the Brilliance Aura, with those level 3 bolts, level 2 Holy Light combinations, if Fire had been able to take his time and just take down Fiend after Fiend like he eventually did, without HasuObs having income, I think he would have been in a pretty decent spot to eventually win the game. But you know, with HasuObs having so much income, of course, he, there we can see it, mined quite a bit more gold in the end. Yeah, he was just able to use that advantage to eventually win the game here. So it's 2-0 for HasuObs after game number 1, and on the third map he can already finish the best of 5, and the third map is going to be Echo Isles.